A very good morning to you. My name is Daniel Wahome, and welcome to Sports Tech on the 2nd of February 2026, 02022026. Well, it is a Monday. Well, for the city, total chaos, especially in the transport sector. So movements have been made very difficult. So let's see how that it turns out and how soon it settles such that all things will move normally. And also, we're keeping up with everything that's happening around the news and all the announcements that are to be made. And our team is out there making sure that that is covered. And so, amongst other things, is the Prince PS climate change meeting with Kenya's ambassador to the UN and the conversations around climate action. Those are part of the stories that we're going to be looking at. From the sporting side, well, we shall be talking esports at the end of this program. We've got one esports athlete. His name is Hannington Kiplagat. Just came back from Morocco. What are his experiences and what is the scene like when it comes to esports in Kenya and how it works? Kenya is going to be represented at the Winter Olympics, and you're wondering, okay, so do we have people who go to Kilimanjaro or Mount Kenya where there is no? No. It's two Kenyans who are based in Europe. They've been spending their time in the Alps for quite some time. And so what they have been doing is making sure they rack up the points, and two of them have done so. Isal Abord and also Sabrina Wanjiko Siemada, who is known as a snow leopard. They're going to be representing Kenya at the 2026 Winter Olympic Games that are taking place in Milan and Cortina. They actually ski something known as the Super G, and there's something known as the slalom. So those are their specialties. We shall be joined by the president of the Kenya Skiing Federation, Philip Boyd, will be joining us via Zoom from Eldoret. So as he prepares to travel in a couple of days to Italy, where Kenya is going to be represented again by two young athletes. Also, the first conversation that we are going to have, and one of the people who was supposed to come, he's been caught up in the traffic. It's just that how crazy it is. His name is Kevin Kibe. He's the president of Gateball Kenya. But we're going to have, so we wish to have had a demonstration, but he's been caught up out on Mombasa Road where all that chaos is. But we've got the Secretary General of the Kenya Gateball Federation. His name is Kerry Mwangi. Kerry, very good morning.
A very good morning to you, and thanks a lot for the warm welcome. And the traffic situation, we keep the prayer for the day. It's crazy.
Nairobi is just crazy. So let's get down to this. Gateball.
Yes.
This is a sport. When I took a look at it, the first thing that hit me is, when I saw the photo, was wood ball.
Yes.
Is it the same, or what can you, how would you describe? I mean, how would you separate the two sports?
Okay. Wood ball, as the name suggests, it's wood. Even the playing unit is the wood. Gateball is a metallic, but in principle, they're the same in terms of infrastructure. What varies now is the rules of the Gateball, and what varies is also the goals behind Gateball, which is different from woodwork. So I quickly just start by giving clear differences. One, Gateball is a 5x5 game, played over 30 minutes. And it's a non-contact sport.
Okay.
And the idea behind Gateball, as the name suggests, there's a gate. There's a ball and a gate. The idea is to pass the ball via a gate, hence the name Gateball.
So ideally, let me just probably use my phone. This to my pen and this as a prop.
Yes.
So you have something like that.
Yes. Yeah, and then now, then you aim. Then you aim to hit the ball past that. So there are 4 gates. Gate 1, Gate 2, Gate 3. And you accumulate points across the team passing through each gate. So each gate pass is 2 points. Yes.
All right. So, a demonstration is something we would have loved. We just hope that Kevin just finds his way somehow.
We are keeping the prayer.
Yes, because he had the equipment, in the car. So here's the thing, the field of play. Just give a description of it.
Okay, so it's a 15 by 20. That's the size of the field. And there are 4 gates, 4 small gates that are that are put at diagonal across. And then the starting line, all the people start at one point. So there are 10 players. There are 2 sets of balls, colored, odd and even. So the odd numbers, that's team A. The even numbers, that's team B. And the idea is just that. To each of those 10 people to hit the ball past the gate. So why Gateball? One, it's a cross-generational sport. Cross-generational means a 10-year-old can play with a 70-year-old. An able-bodied person can play with a differently abled person. So it's basically a cross-generational sport, and that makes it really a difference in other sports discipline.
So there you have it. And when you do set up,
Yeah.
what's the procedure? Because what I see is that each person in the team, say you've got 5 people, so you've got 10 balls. So one team has got the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's team A.
That's team A.
You've got team B with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
Yes.
So what's the way to get into now the scoring and that?
Okay. So the balls are arranged in the numbering order. So ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. So the idea is each person hits the ball per turn. And each of them, for branding, each one of them is given the number, the identity number of the ball. So Wahome ball number 1, so your t-shirt ball number 1. Kevin ball number 8, t-shirt number 8. Then number 2, the referee. I forgot to mention, there's a referee. Just like in another sport. So the role of the referee is obviously to have a 10-second between the aim and the hitting the ball. It's a 10-second space. So you just have 10 seconds to aim, to concentrate, and to hit the ball. I mean, which is part of the fun of the game.
So here you are. So, because I'm seeing a sport like croquet.
Croquet. Croquet.
Looks more like that.
Actually, Gateball came from croquet. Now, and I just quickly take you back. So, croquet was a game that was there during World War II that was used primarily by soldiers to keep them, less busy, during the World War II and all. So Japan, Gateball came from Japan, originated from Japan in the mid-80s, and it was a version of croquet. The idea was a game that could be played by cross-generation, and that's where it started. It started as a sport that was played in colleges, schools and colleges, but at the same time, the same sport was being played by the older population. That's how, so it's a croquet version.
So let's now talk about scoring. So there you are. You've got you've got your mallet.
Yes.
So once you get your mallet.
Yes. You hit it past gate in the order. So first go to gate number 1. You hit it past. When you manage to get number 1, you go to number 2. Now for Gateball, you must cross gate number 1. So that means if you don't get cross past number 1, you will continue being on the outside. The pitch requires all of you must hit ball past gate number 1. Number 2, once you hit past number 1, you are at liberty to hit your opponent's ball outside the pitch, off the pitch. It's part of the fun of it. So every one of us is competing to do it like from 1, 2, 3, and 4. But in between, you can hit the opponent's ball, you send it off the pitch, and then now you hit. So that again is the fun.
All right, that's the fun part because I fully want to understand. Maybe you can use your notebook as something that as to how the pitch is and where the goal has been set, for example. And where the balls are, so that if you score, then the next thing that I know is you're taking your opponent's ball to the sides, so that it becomes difficult for them.
But again, but first, in between all this, what is it that we want to achieve in Gateball? In Gateball, we want to achieve number 1, the team synergy. So that the idea is to have all my teammates, let's say I'm doing the odd numbers, the idea is to have all of us go past gate number 1. We hit the ball past gate number 1. That's number 1 thing. Number 2, we want to drive our opponents off field. Remember, if you're driven off field, you'll only then go back after all the other players, after all the 9 players have played the game. So for us, once you achieve the team synergy, the other thing is creativity. As you say, I might want to hit your ball out, but again, would it make more sense for me to hit your ball out, try to get you off, or to try to go past number 2? So those are the kind of calculative moves that are done in a Gateball situation. And then number 3, as I told you, it's a 10-second. So it's a split decision. So you have 10 seconds to think and hit. To think, hit, aim, and hit the ball. Yeah.
So 10-second decision. So once you score, so I'm playing ball number 1.
Yes.
A start.
Yes.
I score.
Uh-huh. You hit past ball. You go past gate number 1. Then it's still your turn to go to number 2. If you miss number 2, then now the opponent plays. Yeah. So,
and let's now just say this. At which like to say this, are the places where this is being set up, so where you can get that 15 by 20 pitch. Yeah. So good. So fortunately with Gateball, it has no standardized pitch. So that's why it's an easy sport that can be played in the hood. It can be played here. You know, it's basically it's a kind of sport. And nowadays we have the tape. Like we walk around with the tape and measure. So we have all the equipment as a go. It's like the way basketball, how they set up the 3x3. You move around with a court and put and start playing. So we don't have a designate. You know, the way we have arenas and can be played in a parking lot. For example, can be played in a compound, in a school setup, in a regular field. So that's the beauty about Gateball as a sport. Looking at it and bringing the sport, being a game that originates in Japan, and it's one of the what we'd call the emerging sports, unconventional sports.
Yes.
Or we would call the non-Olympic sports.
Sport, yes.
How then does it now trickle down?
Yeah.
The Japanese, I know that, for example, most of them would be the expatriate community who come in and start doing this.
Yes.
And then how does it now come back down to the public? First
I want to, and thanks for raising that issue about the emerging sport. So, of course, the emerging sport is what you're calling the new disruption to your traditional sports. So,
kabaddi, roll ball,
dodgeball, pickleball, walking football, skipping rope federation, wood ball, for example. All those are now the emerging sports. First, it's a very important conversation because that by itself is a disruptive for your regular, traditional netball, volleyball, boxing. So the Japanese, because it's a Japanese sport, they're obviously vested in it because it's their game, so to speak. So for us here, through Kevin, the president, so Kevin has lived and worked in Japan for 30 years. He went in 1995. Yes, he has been on and off Japan, and so he picked up the interest there. He picked the language. He studied there. So he thought of also coming to bring in a sport from there. So it was formally registered in Kenya last year in July, the Kenya Gateball Federation. It was compliance after compliance checks and all from the sports registrar. So our key interest of number 1, to popularize the game locally. We start with popularizing the game locally. Number 2 is to also now explore areas of partnership. And particularly, as I've said, with the Embassy of Japan, because really it's their sport. It's a sport they associate with. But also to us locally, we are also attuned to the CBE. And part of the CBE is sports is a key ingredient, especially in the new curricula. And we are also offering, and our plan for the year would be to also engage them through the Ministry of Education, how we can also have Gateball as one of the emerging sports that are also in the school curricula.
Well, it's a whole big story because if it's to be there, then you probably have got, if you're to do it with this cohort, you probably have less than 6 months because from something I found out last week, elective sports would be grade 11 for those who are taking the arts sports pathway.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Before we even take a look at it from that point, how then do we bring in the 2 key components? Because having seen the pictures, and I just wish Kevin was here so that
we would also be doing it.
Would actually be doing it practically, so that it becomes easier to see. Is getting the equipment.
Yes. So, and that's the.
I know the goal we can go to anybody who does the metal working.
Yes.
Bend
a bit of to the size and the measure. Yeah.
But how high is the goal, by the way?
Okay, it's the size of this. It's the size of this. This is the goal. Actually, this is a goal. But for us, the challenge, and we'll talk to it a bit later, yeah, the bigger challenge about Gateball is the equipment. Because it is expensive, it is not locally, you can only make a bit, you can only localize it to a certain extent. So for us, that will be a bigger challenge. But at the moment for us, and just for startup, what we have been doing is to have introductory training sessions, just to get people to get to know what it is, to popularize it. So, and we have had a communication to the embassy, because the equipment, the truth is, the equipment is really on the high end. And for us, the first category, the first target audience for us, it's basically your average person, not even the schools. The schools will come much later in our strategic focus. Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm looking at two key things. The ball. Just describe that ball and the materials that it is made of.
The ball is your average, is slightly bigger than a tennis ball. It's a tennis ball, but a bit harder. What can I compare it? Around, what was this other sport?
Baseball?
Baseball. The baseball. You know that baseball?
Yes.
Yes, it's the size of a baseball. You see, yeah. So that's the Gateball. You see, and it's not locally. It's not locally. I don't think it's still locally. The balls are locally.
No. I mean, last week I had somebody from baseball, and they said the wooden bats, they have to get a particular tree that grows only in Canada.
Canada, yes, exactly. You see, and for Gateball, even the measurement, it's so particular, because the Japanese, they're very, very, very particular about certain things and measurement and all.
Kaizen and things like that.
That so for us as Gateball, the first idea is to introduce it first to the community. Number two is to also welcome the cross-generational, because in Japan, by the way, after high school, most students drop playing Gateball because of the adrenaline. It's a slow paced, it's a low impact, it's a non-contact. So ideally, it's an elderly citizen sport, not your average young. You see, and I'm getting to that because even in Kenya, part of the bigger interest we have received so far, the last 5 months we have been on and off in Kamulu, where our offices are, is we have people coming from KU, from the college, from the young boy, but we have been seeing more particular interest in the older generation in the sport. That is driven obviously again by the fact that it's a slower game. It's a very easy game, and then it's a 30 minutes slow movement.
Yeah, because now that is now one of the challenges, because it's what you've mentioned is, anytime I look at videos of Japan, you can actually see that, number one, there's a lot of focus on being on time or in time.
In time,
And also, it's something that you see in East Asia. There's a work culture where there is an intensity.
Yes.
The question then is, how do you keep this going? Because we have other sports.
Yes.
Some say they have intensity. Very close to it, golf.
Golf, yes.
It's a non-contact. Not extremely fast, but requires intensity.
So Gateball, not the golf, because we have already actually received 2 offers so far for the golf side. So golf, how we are trying to plug into golf is, number one, we are having a conversation with the older former golf players, as you know, like you say in football, veterans or legends, you can say. So for golf, it's a very interesting scenario, Wahome. So we have
it's a seniors you want to...
A senior, those senior golf, those retired golfers, so to speak, they don't want to do the 18 hole. No, Gateball is a miniature golf, quote unquote, that is a 15 by 20, that still has the same feel of golf, but not to the older golfers. They don't want to, by age and let's say health, they may not want to be able to do the 18 hole. So So on that point of golf it's a conversation that we have gotten two interests thus far. We are doing a demonstration in the month of March at Karen Golf Club, and our idea is to introduce it to the aging, to the senior golfers.
All right. The other thing that when you talk about this emerging sport is, then we've seen, for example, roll ball came in over 13 years. Kenya getting to a level where they're world champions and things like that. Kabaddi, it's become a very big pathway for professional Kabaddi players.
Yes.
So you find out that India is now a big place for Kenyans to go play Kabaddi.
Yeah.
Beach, wood ball, and things like that.
Yes.
Competitiveness, rather than just it being a recreational sport.
Yes. Yeah. So number one, so Gateball, God willing, it will be an Olympic sport in 2032, Brisbane. It will be an Olympic sport, God willing, because all the emerging sports are, as you say, they start to be Olympic with geared to being Olympic sports. So 2032, Gateball will be an Olympic sport, and we hope Kenya to get a team by then to participate in Olympics. Number two, in Africa, it's apart from Kenya, Cote d'Ivoire is the only other country that has recognition from the World Gateball Union as the other African country. So for us, we are working towards strengthening relationships in Africa, because as you say, charity begins at home. Yes. So we first want to strengthen relationship between Kenya and Cote d'Ivoire in terms of Gateball, championships, tournaments, just exchange, sports tourism, dropping sports tourism to it. Locally, of course, for us, it's more about building capacity. Just first getting it at county level, getting the interest. I like what you said about Kabaddi and Coco and the like. They started the same. In fact, Coco, because I've been associated with it partly, they started with it being a sport no people wanted to, they're very skeptical. But with time,
the nature of
the nature
Coco,
of the sport,
as you say, you go around tapping here,
so
running around.
But you see, it picked with them, and that's the beauty of emerging sports. Emerging sports is creating a new thought process, and that is why the traditional sports are getting more unease about us, because now we have the emerging sport is getting to a new audience. A new target audience. Remember, most people who are getting to Gateball, to these emerging sports, even if there were those who were previously in other sports, but now we are also getting a new constituency. People who are previously who are non-sports.
Yes.
Kabisa, they didn't have any other sport before. And that's really a huge new constituency the emerging sport is getting to. And Gateball is getting to that space as well. How so? Early this year, we signed we got an endorsement from Kiambu County government. Okay. That to us is huge. Why? Because as a county, the fact that you're engaging with a county at county level, it gives authority. It shows you have an authority. So that means, number one, Kiambu County is big on infrastructure. Part of the governor's plan around sports has been in infrastructure developments. Thika Stadium, Digio, Kanjero, a lot of sports.
We hope, and we also hope to see Kirigiti finally.
Finally back. But for all that, that's the hardware. Now the software is where we come in. It's because after all that glamour and all that it's back, we need the actual sports on the ground. So Gateball, we had a conversation with the minister, Osman, and the chief officer, Masolo. They gave us an endorsement letter, and I want to announce it here. First time, as you say, first time announced. Kwa mara ya kwanza. We are having an official Gateball launch in July 2026. Kiambu County, Digio Stadium.
Just give the directions to Igio so that somebody who may be new to the place would not get lost.
Yes, I'll be honest, we are just first considering the Igio Stadium. We have just first mentioned it by name. I know Thika Stadium is also coming up strongly, but for us, we just first want to get the message out that Kiambu County will host the official launch of Gateball in Kenya. The formal introduction of Gateball in Kenya will be done in Kiambu County. So I think that is where, so that for us is huge. Number two, we have engaged the Japanese embassy, as you said earlier. This is their sport. Yes. I mean, this is their product. And so far, we have had a bit of good interest from their commercial side. Apparently, a lot of the Japanese companies would like to do business in Africa, in Kenya. You see sports, people say sport diplomacy. Sport is a platform of engage. And they're happy. They've been happy to tell us that they would like to use Gateball as a platform for pushing Japanese services and products to East Africa market. So just to let you know, see, just to see how sports is also balancing out on the business end of things. Asahi is the new sheriff of Diageo, of EABL. I mean, there's a conversion to it. And for us, if Asahi comes to the market, it's a Japanese firm, and we are hoping that that Gateball would be a considerable option for them.
Yeah, because it's these partnerships that, for a lot of people, really would work. Because from how you describe it, this is a game that can be used to wind down.
Yes.
Outside of, this, Japan, I know it will be in their interests.
Yes.
It is in their interests, actually, to promote their products and that.
Yes.
And what about at corporate level? Because, for example, football have got their own corporate league.
Yes.
I think there's one known as the Left Foot League.
Yeah.
Which is mainly around the corporates, or the five-a-side, or seven-a-side football.
Yeah.
So how would you then engage with a corporate general such that in the evening, when I'm stressed,
I
just look for that 15 by 20
15 by 20. And yes, so for us, number one, and this is something which you're talking about more about the emerging sports, they just Gateball being one of them. We're also creating an opportunity for your corporate honchos. Remember, for the longest time, your corporate honchos have been the people who sign off the budgets and the marketing and the team building, but they themselves have not had a particular sport for them. What have they been doing? I can give a quick example for football. Is they come to the field, they announce the start of the tournament, they kick the ball up in the air, tournament has started, they go to a VVIP tent, they wait for 4 p.m., prize giving and some small speech, and say, game.
And the way sports people hate speeches.
Yeah. And then, so the guy has to come up. So as you're giving them, actually part of the bigger emerging sport conversation is how do you engage the corporate honchos so that they don't get stuck to the what they call traditional way of football, katikati ya kiwanja, kicking the ball up in the air, sitting in a VIP tent, sipping soda, which is exactly the other thing we're talking about, the health angle to eat, waiting for 5 p.m., speeches and monologue. It is the emerging sport. And Gateball is just one of them that now provide a 15 by 20 pitch, an easier way in between that they can also have their own social networking session. You see, indeed, Gateball can fit into your every other sport you have in let's say in a company setup, in a corporate engage.
I've been, looking at all these notes that, the notes that you have here, and one of the things that you want to do is to have 10 teams across 10 counties in the next 2 years. How then do you spread the sport? Because there's always been this risk of a sport starting in Nairobi and it doesn't go out.
It doesn't go out, yes.
I mean, and especially for the emerging ones.
Yes, and it is a risk, and I can say this in not just emerging sports. Generally, people have associated sports with Nairobi. I mean, I know even for the traditional KPL, let me just quickly go back. People say 80% of KPL teams are in Nairobi. I mean, so everything Nairobi. When you talk of boxing, people say a lot of boxing and the novices, but they see most of it in Nairobi. So what is our bigger focus? Our bigger focus is to develop the sport outside. That's why we have started with Kiambu County. That's why we're actually launching in Kiambu County, because we're also just trying to run away from the template, from the cliche that every other new sport happens in Nairobi. So we have earmarked Kiambu County, we have earmarked Meru County, where Douglas Wakihuri, the legend, who is also very well connected to Japan, he was recently given the position of a sports council in Meru County, and he has already invited us because he himself is also a very key connect to Gateball. I mean, he has a lot. I mean, he has the Japanese link. We know him as the legend. Yeah. So for us, Kiambu and Meru, increasing, they have become the first port of call, so to speak.
Yeah, because Kiambu and Meru, and now one of the things is getting the correct affiliation.
Yes.
Because I think on Friday, a new sports bill was presented to Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria. It also has a sports policy. And one of the things is how you have grassroots affiliations defined.
Yes.
So how are you going to work to ensure that, yes, you're registered,
yes,
but I know the registrar will
yes,
keep asking you, where are the 8 of the 24?
Yes. You see, and it is, and thanks first for the Commission for the Sports Policy 2016. I've been trying to go through over the weekend since Friday. And yes, that's actually a challenge across all sports. Let's start with that. It's just not an Imagine or a Gateball issue, it's across all sports. How to devolve, how to move the conversation from Nairobi to county level by doing the grassroots, the county associations. So what are we doing around it? So number one, as you say, and you pointed correctly, we have given ourselves 3-year growth period because it's a new sport and the growth is organic. So for us, we want to have the conversation around the 3-year period. We want to grow it to a county level, but at the same time, we are also careful about the growth projection.
Well, we get back to Sports Check as we close this conversation about Gateball, and we are with the Secretary General of the Gateball Federation of Kenya, Kerry Mwangi. Kerry, as we close this conversation, let's simply take a look at the next 1 year for the sport and reaching out to people and partnerships, especially, you've mentioned 2 foreign missions, the French, the Japanese, and now county governments.
Yes. So our areas of partnership and collaboration is the way to go. I mean, sports commercialization is a new word, is a new buzzword. And for us, we have 2 key areas. We have the emerging sports are usually split into 2. There's the recreation and the competitive. Recreational, it's purely a health benefit and a social network. Competitive is human nature, competitive by nature. I mean, so in a sport, the competitive angle is what gives it the juice. So for us, as Gateball, we have the launch, and we are working towards the launch, and soon we are going now to be reaching out to partners, to corporates, to get for the launch, because the launch now is also what is going to give us now the platform, the visibility, the talkability to get out there. So number 2 is the county government. It is working with county governments that gives you the authority. It gives you, it's a check by itself. Number 3 also, and I must thank KBC, and government to government works. When you're working with the Embassy of Japan, the first thing they ask you is what are the government institutions you're working with? So KBC is a national service. Thank you for that.
Asante.
Yes. So number 3 for us is also affiliation. So the Japanese Gateball Union, JGU, has been a very strong partner to us. So far, we opened a file with them in August. We sent them our official documentation. They've been following us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Kenya Gateball Federation, Instagram, Kenya Gateball Federation. For us, those are the kind of areas of partnership which we're trying now to align together so that in the next 1 year, we have moved the conversation to county levels. Number 2, we have moved from recreational, because emerging sports starts at recreational, to competitive. Across the continent, as I've said, Cote d'Ivoire is the only other country where we have Gateball and recognized as such. And for us, it's we'll be working for an exchange program in coming 1.5 years, 2 years, where they come to Kenya, we go to Cote d'Ivoire, just to strengthen those ties of Gateball. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Kerry Mwangi, Secretary General of Gateball Kenya. One of the emerging sports, also non-Olympic sport, but they hope that in 2032, there could be an Olympic sport in Brisbane, and it's one that cuts across generations, whether you're 7 or 17 or 70, you can all play together. We take a break now, and when we come back, we'll be having more conversations now. Another emerging sport, and Kenyans are taking it seriously. Actually, electronic sports. And this time, it's not using consoles. This is everything, the phone, for them. We'll be speaking with Hannington Kiplagat, quarterfinalist at the Africa eFootball Mobile Championships that took place in Morocco.